So AI is already changing how people get hired, what skills matter, and whether entry-level jobs even exist anymore. So let's take a look at what is actually happening. The first is a new report from Microsoft's AI Economy Institute that shows AI adoption globally has reached 16.3%. So this was by the end of 2025. But what it showed, which was quite interesting, was that there was a gap between rich countries and developing countries. So the United Arab Emirates topped the table with 64% of its working age population using AI tools, and the US was actually only 24th globally. Developed countries now adopt AI almost at twice the rate of developing countries, so creating like a 10.6% adoption gap. So this story made headlines, but keep in mind, it does track the share of people who have used AI in the period. So if you've used it once, you would be considered an adopter. The other thing that was quite interesting, well, not actually that interesting, kind of obvious, was that DeepSeek was more popular in developing economies because it is free. Right. The second job story is McKinsey is testing AI literacy in graduate hiring. So McKinsey is piloting a change to its graduate recruitment process by asking candidates to use its internal AI assistant called Lily during interviews. So they're not looking for the right answer. They are looking for how candidates engage with the AI, how they prompt the AI, how they think and work with its output, and whether they're showing judgment, curiosity, and the ability to challenge what the system produces. So what they're being tested on is how they think with AI. So this is quite interesting because it reflects how consulting work is changing, because AI is doing more of the analysis that junior consultants once handled, and it's kind of now looking at how its consultants are expected to operate day to day. So this is a pilot and they will roll it out if it's more successful. And I think it's interesting because AI-assisted thinking is now becoming a baseline professional skill. What firms want to see now is whether humans can add value on top of AI output, make sense, context, judgment, etc. So that's a fascinating dimension to the job story. The FT then reports that the entry-level jobs market is collapsing, particularly for new graduates, as hiring slows and companies rely more on AI and automation. So graduate recruitment is down. It definitely is down. Competition per role is extremely high, and employers are actually going for experienced candidates for junior positions. So the sectors that were hardest hit were marketing, comms, HR, and professional services. And AI is a contributing factor, but it is not the full picture. Executives increasingly argue that tools can absorb much of the work previously done by junior staff, which is what we talked about in the McKinsey story. And that's changing the traditional career ladder. So, of course, then that creates the question, well, how do young workers gain experience? What's going to happen? But it's also worth mentioning that AI is not the only factor in all these AI is taking everyone's jobs headlines. We have seen in the UK especially increases in employment taxes on business, higher business rates, economic confidence stagnating, and those have been major contributors too. It's kind of a perfect storm, and AI is stepping in to bridge the gap. So this is really hard for graduates at the moment, but all is not lost. I've done a video on how to find a job in the age of AI. It's definitely worth looking at that. But it's not all doom and gloom on the jobs front. The FT has argued that fears of AI-driven mass unemployment overlook a major counterforce, which is global demographic decline. So working age populations are shrinking rapidly across major economies, with fewer young people entering the labor market than expected. And as a result, labor shortage, not surplus, are becoming the dominant long-term challenge. From this perspective, AI is more likely to offset workforce decline than eliminate jobs outright. So previous technology shifts displaced industries, but created new forms of work, and early evidence suggests AI is raising productivity rather than driving large-scale unemployment. So we could see this growth in GDP, which would be very helpful, as well as disruption, but AI might help sustain economic activity in aging societies, which is seen as a good thing.